Rifat Akhtar from Department of Sociology, University of Central Arkansas. The title of my paper is Impacts of Foreign Investment and Sex Ratio on Women's Status. In this research, using cross-sectional and leg cross-sectional data, I've explored the net effects of sex ratio and foreign investment on women's status. Here, women's status is defined through following indicators: crude marriage rates for women, fertility rates, labor force participation, and gender empowerment. Gutenberg and Secord, in their groundbreaking work, argued that high sex ratio constrain the roles women occupy. In such countries, roles such as those requiring virginity in brides, chastity in wives, and the devotion of women to the roles of wife and mother are designed to decrease the alternatives and bargaining power open to women. As a result, in these countries, women's age at marriage and labor force participation would be lower than low sex ratio countries. However, fertility rate will be higher. Previous researchers, while testing Gutenberg and Secord's theory, have found sex ratio plays a crucial role in determining women's status. However, they have also found that economic development plays an important role in determining women's status at a structural level, which has impact on relationship within the house. On the contrary, feminist world system researchers have found that, irrespective of economic development, countries where foreign investment is high, women's share in the formal and informal labor force is high too. However, there are variations in the sectors. In this research, I combine the two perspectives and explore the net effects of foreign investment and sex ratio on women's status. This research used a design that combines leg cross-sectional and cross-sectional analysis. The unit of analysis for this study is 78 nation states, for which sex ratios are computed for years in between 1998 and 2000. I have only included the countries that have data for all the variables that are included in the study. The primary dependent variables of this study are crude marriage rates for women, fertility rates, women's participation in the labor force, and women's control over structural power relative to men's, measured through gender empowerment score. These are measured at a recent point of time, which is 2005, and are regressed on the independent variables, some of which are measured in earlier points in time, for example, sex ratio in 2000 and Human Development Index in 2004. The lag period is Croatia 1980 for foreign investment, Croatia 1990 for economic growth rate, and 1990 for income inequality, measured through Gini index. I've used ordinary least square regression to examine the direct effects of independent variables on women's status. Findings indicate that effects of sex ratio on the women's participation in the labor force varies by the sectors where women are working rather than sex ratio, economic growth, and economic inequality. Countries where foreign investment is high, women's participation in the service sector is high, net of sex ratio, economic development, and income inequality. On the contrary, countries where foreign investment is high, women's share in the agriculture sector is low. Countries where foreign investment is high, women's share in the informal labor force is high, net of sex ratio, economic development, and income inequality. However, countries that have higher Human Development Index score, women's share in the labor force is high in those countries, even though countries where sex ratio is high, crude marriage rate for women is high, net of economic development, social development, foreign investment, and income inequality. When I've added women's labor force in the model, countries where sex ratio is high, percentage of women married is high, indicating women's status at household mostly determined by sex ratio. Countries where sex ratio is high, fertility rates are high too, even if the foreign investment and women's share in the informal labor force is high. Fertility rate is low in countries where women's share in the formal labor force is high, net of sex ratio, foreign investment, and economic and social development. Thus, I conclude, women's roles mostly depend on the level of economic opportunities. Demographic factors such as sex ratio is an important factor to determine percentages of married women in a given nation. Women's structural power and fertility rates mostly depend on social development of a country rather than sex ratio of foreign investment. Thank you.